Last week on a Saturday evening, I was sitting with my dog on the couch. I had the TV on in the background. As I sat there reading through the daily newspaper, I was looking in the ad section when I stumbled upon an ad stating, "In search of employees that would and will be able to work the night shift." My eyebrows shot up in excitement. $28 an hour. Holy crap! That's good pay for a warehouse night shift job, I said as I giggled to myself. I got up and grabbed a notebook and pen and wrote down the number. I put the newspaper on the coffee table. I sat back down on my couch and flipped to channel 54. I sat there for the next few hours, flipping back and forth through the channels, trying to find something good to watch. It's getting late. I had better head to bed, I said to myself. I shut off the TV and started heading to the bathroom. I opened the bathroom mirror and grabbed out my toothbrush and toothpaste and began to brush my teeth. I then heard a strange noise coming from my bedroom. I froze for a second but then started to walk into my room with my toothbrush still in hand. The noise is coming from the window. That's weird. Maybe it's a tree branch smacking against the window, I thought to myself. I walked back into the bathroom. I finished brushing my teeth and then proceeded to walk back into my room. I shut off the bedroom light and laid down in bed to fall asleep. I woke up the next morning in a cold sweat. I looked around in confusion. It almost felt like I was being watched. It didn't bother me much because I'm not the type to believe in the paranormal. I got out of bed and headed to the kitchen. I started making myself bacon and eggs for breakfast. I looked at the aide again and then took out the notebook and called the number to apply for the job. I was answered by a really nice man.
Hello? This is the warehouse department. My name is Jack. How can I help you today?
Yeah, hi. I was wondering if I could apply for the opening you guys have, I said sternly.
Yes, you can, sir. Come down to the warehouse later today and we will just interview you. There's no need to apply,
he said in a cheerful tone. Oh, okay. I will be there at 4 p.m. Does that sound good to you? I said excitedly.
Yes, it does,
the man said. We said our goodbyes and hung up the phone. It was currently 9:43, so I had all day to get ready and relax a little bit. I sat down on the couch and flipped on the TV. I scrolled through the channels quickly until stopping on the History Channel. I sat there most of the time until 3:30 p.m. It was a decently long drive to the warehouse, probably 20 minutes, so I wanted to start driving early. I got dressed in a nice plaid button-up shirt and a pair of khaki dress pants. I grabbed my keys and headed outside to my car. I got into my car and took a deep breath, turned the key, and drove off. I got there right on time and saw the sign. Main office. I parked my car as close as I could and started walking up to the door. I got in and the cool air, conditioned air hit me like a train. It feels nice here, I thought to myself, seeing it was a hot, stuffy summer day here in Florida. I was greeted by the man I had talked to on the phone.
Hi, Jason. It's nice to meet you,
he said. I smiled back at him and shook his hand. Nice to meet you too. He took me into a small little office and I sat down in front of his desk.
All right, let's go over a couple of things here,
he said, while pulling out a folder of papers. He started asking me all kinds of questions like, how far away do you live from here? Are you physically able to run at any moment? Do you have good eyesight and can you memorize rules and other stuff easily? They were weird questions. Some, I didn't see why they were important at all. I just answered truthfully, and he said,
All right, you got the job? Here are the papers you need to read over and you'll be all set. Your first shift will start tonight at 12:30 a.m. Make sure to read the paper that is titled Rules. It is very important,
he said in a serious way. I got up and walked out of the building. I hopped in my car and set the binder he had given me on the seat next to me, and I drove home. When I got home, I took out all the papers and started reading them. It wasn't too unusual, just normal procedures and regulations. But then the paper he told me that was the most important one had caught my attention.
Rules. Make sure to follow these rules to the fullest and you'll be safe while working. Follow them no matter how dumb or fake they sound.
I glanced through the rules and thought, what the heck are these dumbass rules for? I started reading through them soon after. Rule 1. When you arrive at the warehouse, you will be accompanied by 2 cars that will start following you at the entrance of the parking lot. Ignore them and walk into the main office and don't look back. If you look back and you see figures getting out of the car to the right, lock the door to the office and call us. Rule 2. Once you get into the building, the lights will be off. Turn them on quickly and make your way to the locker room. Make sure to turn on the light in there too. Rule 3. Once you're dressed and ready to head and make your first rounds around the warehouse, go into the security office and check camera 9. This rule is rare, so you don't have to really worry about it. But if you do see something in it, grab the hammer that is located to the right of the monitors and smash it. Rule 4. At 1:30 a.m., exactly make your way back to the security office. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of something, just go. Once in there, you'll see a little girl on cam 3. Turn on and off that monitor 5 times and it should be gone. Rule 5. At 2:30 a.m. you will hear a loud banging coming from one of the doors that go into the main floor. Quickly run up to it and bang back on it 3 times and it should stop after a few seconds. Rule 6. While patrolling the basement, do not look up, keep your eyes low. If you do look up, run. Rule 7. If you see a tall man with a wide smile coming towards you, don't look into his eyes. He will keep asking you. Just close your eyes and wait 60 seconds, and he should leave you alone. If you do look into his eyes by any chance, he will take your soul. Rule 8. If you hear a scratching noise coming from above you, do not look up. Rule 9. If you see the little girl you had seen on the camera and she asks you to help her find her mom, tell her not right now, sweetie. I'll help you later. Once you say this, she will disappear. Rule 10. At 4:30 a.m. exactly, descend back down to the basement. Once down there, you will notice it has completely changed. Walk up the stairs until you reach a shrine. Light the candles with the lighter that will be sitting next to them and clap and bow your head for 10 seconds. Rule 11. At 5:30 a.m. make your way back to your office and lock the door behind you. This is where you will spend the rest of your shift until 6:30 If you hear loud banging noises coming from the door and voices asking you to open it, ignore them and wait until your shift is over. What the heck is this? Is this some kind of joke? I thought to myself in anger. This must be a joke to scare the new guy, I said. I put down the notes and went to take a nap, not really paying those dumb crap rules any mind. I woke up to my alarm blaring. I turned it off and looked at the time 12:00. I got up and got ready for work, heading out the door. I heard that same noise I had heard the previous night, the tapping noise at my window. I had to be at work soon, so I just turned back around and drove off. Forgetting all about the rules, I got there late. As I was pulling into the parking lot, I could see cars parked on either side of the entrance. That is weird. It is a bit late to be sitting out here, I thought to myself in confusion. I drove past them, and before I knew it, their headlights flipped on and they started to tail me. I tried to get a good look at them through my rearview mirror and saw nothing. I quickly looked behind me and they were there again. What the frick is going on? I said, frightened. I can't see them through my mirrors. I pulled up next to the office parking lot and stopped my car. They stopped with me being a couple of feet behind my car. I started to get upset and I was about to get out and start screaming at them when I remembered Rule 1. When you arrive, 2 cars will follow you. Ignore them and proceed to walk into the building. This isn't funny, I thought to myself as I got out of my car. They are taking this too far. This little dumb prank of theirs. I started to walk up the cars when the door swung open and a large white creature hopped out. I froze for a second and then started running to the door of the main office, opening the door and slamming it shut in one motion. Bagging erupted from the other side of the door. What the heck is going on here that looked nothing like a human? I said to myself as I held the door from coming off the hinges. I quickly flipped on the light and dialed the company number that was on the paper of rule. A lady answered, and I started screaming, "There is something trying to kill me." I had a million questions running through my head at this point.
Stay calm, sir. Let me guess you broke rule 1?
she said while giggling. This isn't funny. What is that thing outside the door? That white tall creature? I said while trying to hold the door shut.
It's the watchers. They keep the building safe from anyone trying to get in after hours. They don't know you, so they are trying to keep the building safe. Just wait a few minutes and they will get bored and return back to the entrance.
But I can't hold this door any longer. I'm afraid they will bust in if I try to walk away.
Sir, just calm down. That door can hold a lot more than you think.
She said in a more serious tone now. I walked away from the door and the phone hung up. The banging stopped after a while, and I slumped onto the ground. This can't be happening. This can't be real, I said to myself in an attempt to calm myself down. I read back through the rules and decided after what I had just experienced I had to follow them. A bunch of thoughts was still running through my head like, what were those things? Was the lady lying to me about them because if they were some kind of guard system, wouldn't they have told them that I worked there? And what exactly was my job here? I sighed and walked into the locker room, turning on the light. I got dressed for work. My shift was just about to start